Nicole Bevilacqua, Warrior Training for the Brokenhearted. Warrior Training for the Brokenhearted, Nicole Bevilacqua. Contestant, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Tragic loss, unfulfilled dreams, broken promises. There is no love without devastation. But what does that mean? It means that if we are living this life, then our heart will be broken at some point. But like the earth, the soil needs to be tilled to prepare for a new season of planting. A broken heart can prepare us for a new season of life if we allow it. Do you remember the last time your heart was broken? Of course you do. I do too. For me, it was recent. Thanksgiving. Dishes were done, food was put away. I walked to the kitchen to get myself a glass of water. Saw my husband texting someone at the table. "What you doing?" And then he did something very strange. He closed his messaging app, opened a different website and said, "Nothing much, just shopping." As if I couldn't see him, my heart began pounding in my chest. Options were swirling in my brain of what to do next. I could just ask him what he's doing, whom he's texting. I could walk back to my bedroom and pretend like none of this was happening. I could take this glass of water and throw it in his stupid face. Want to know what I did? I walked back to my bedroom because I was afraid to step out of this comfortable, polite relationship and into a space where my heart was about to be broken. I was afraid. Experts tell us the most stressful event we can experience as adults is the death of a spouse, but a very close second is divorce because, like death, divorce is a traumatic separation of two people. And trauma has a way of stirring these dark, scary places inside of us. But I never thought I would get divorced because I chose a man who was responsible, reasonable, well-educated. I made a safe choice. But spoiler alert, he still betrayed me. This is where walls come from. This is where bitterness is born in our hearts. Unless we choose to stay open. Staying open in the face of fear and pain is the path of a warrior. Warriors are strong, brave, courageous. They take us to places we have never been before. But come on, how many of us feel strong, brave, courageous in the middle of personal tragedy? No, inside we're screaming, why is this happening to me? This cannot be my life. I don't deserve this. This is not what I signed up for. And really, who wants to feel any of that anyway? So instead, what do? We distract ourselves with self-care. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and a glass of wine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're probably doing it right now. We capture that pain and bury ourselves inside of it. My brother came to my house in the middle of my divorce to extract me from my self-care routine and take me for a walk. As we're walking, I saw these cactus with the red prickly pear fruit on top, and I got a terrible genius idea. We should eat them. He looked at me all crazy, but I was already elbow deep in cactus prickles getting this fruit. I managed to pull one out, handed it to my brother. He found a stone and jammed it into the skin, tearing it open. He handed it to me, and I peeled the two sides apart to reveal the most beautiful red crimson flesh inside, and it was so sweet and juicy. I felt something. I felt like we had gotten away with something dangerous. I felt connected to my brother, to myself, to the earth. I felt something terrible, a lot of cactus prickles in my lips and fingers, but I felt brave. I felt like a warrior. This, I thought, these prickly pear fruits of the cactus, our inner juicy reserves of courage are buried inside of those places that scare us. The ones with signs that say, don't touch me. Get out. I don't want to talk about it. And really, how many times have you pushed others away because you did not want them to see you be vulnerable? How many times have you hidden from your own vulnerability for the same reason? Because you're afraid. I was afraid because I realized my marriage failed, not just because of his betrayal, but because I betrayed myself for years by refusing to go to those places that scared me, to see what I didn't want to see, to know what I didn't want to know, that he wasn't a safe choice, that there is no safe choice. My brother looked at me with pain in his eyes because he had cactus prickles too. But then he said to me, Nick, your heart isn't broken, it's open. And you can run from your fear, hide from your pain, but a closed heart traps the pain inside, and an open one lets it move through. And I heard the wisdom in his words. My heart is not broken, it is open. My heart is not broken, it is open. We can use tragedy to train our inner warrior, to acknowledge our vulnerability, take responsibility for ourselves even when life is unfair, and dig up, break up those roots of bitterness before they take over. This is how we harvest wisdom and love from our pain instead of resentment and blame. So what will you do when the world hands you a broken heart? Will you close yourself off? Or will you lean in to the training of open-heartedness and go to places you have never been before? Prepare yourself for love and devastation. Madam Toastmaster.
May we please